violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
A deadly crimes-free weekend for a second week across Metro Atlanta. It comes as city officials point towards rising homicide numbers. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston is live for us at Atlanta Police
They both cold.
headquarters with this troubling new data. Yasmina, good evening.
Yes, Savannah, good evening. And as of last week, homicides were up by 49% so far this year in the city. And now Atlanta police are investigating 2 more homicides. A busy weekend in Atlanta for police who responded to 2 homicide scenes Saturday night as the number of homicides in the city has increased drastically. In Southwest Atlanta, police say 4 women and 1 man were shot on Cleveland Avenue.
Cleveland Avenue. We keep hearing that. They're making the city unbearable, man. These super gremlins are on demon time.
The women were in stable condition, but investigators tell us the man was killed. Shortly before that, officers responded to Sunset Avenue in Northwest Atlanta, where a 21-year-old man was shot and killed. The murders coming after numbers show that homicides and rapes are up so far this year in the city. Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant recently spoke in front of Atlanta's Public Safety Committee about the crime, including where we stand with homicides.
Even if we do see this bad guy with a weapon on him, we have to work harder to be able to get that gun off of him, because just because we see the bulge now doesn't mean that we can go into it the same way.
Meanwhile, in
So you hear him, he see the sagging pants and the bulge, and they can't really approach because now everybody's kind of strapped up, and it does make it a little more difficult because unless you know for a fact that that's your guy, can't really stop everybody.
investigators are also looking into a carjacking involving one of their own. Police say an off-duty Atlanta officer was carjacked at gunpoint Saturday night.
Even the off-duty officers is getting jacked. Nobody's safe out here.
We're told it happened on Moreland Avenue, where the officer says he was driving and stopped for traffic when a man got out of a nearby car, pointed a gun at him, and demanded his car. No information has been released on a suspect. The car was later found abandoned nearby. And police have not mentioned any arrests or suspects in the Cleveland.
Damn, so they hopping out at the stoplights. They hopping out at the stoplights. That's different.
Avenue or the Sunset Avenue cases. We'll of course update you once we learn more information. Live in downtown Atlanta, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
A public nuisance, but new tonight, controversial electric scooters are here to stay in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Council members voting today to allow the scooters to be part of the city's future. CBS 46's Haley Mason is live at City Hall. And Haley, this vote came despite some big
Both of them cold, the females.
safety concerns.
Yeah, the city's 3 scooter companies, Bird, Lime, and Spin, all got extensions to their permits today. A 1-year extension that will keep them operating in the city as city policymakers are trying to crack down on how they're used to cut back on crime.
Wow, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I enjoy the scooters, man. I tried one for the first time this weekend. I hopped on a Bird, and it got me from Midtown all the way to Lenox. Took me about 26, probably 30 minutes because I got lost. I'm not gonna lie, but it was very convenient, man. And it's a shame that these super gremlins just ruin so many good things that should be beneficial and help with transportation for people who can't really afford a vehicle, you know. It was only like $25. I mean, it's really heartbreaking. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Some of the violent crimes in Metro Atlanta in recent months have been linked to teenagers on scooters.
We don't want youth committing crime anywhere in Atlanta, and especially being able to do it where they're mobile on, e-scooters and being able to get away from police officers.
The City Council today saying they're taking a hard look at reforming how scooters can be used. This afternoon, the City Council extended the permits for another year for the 3 companies operating the 8,000 scooter permits in the city. It's a number Councilman Antonio Lewis says is more manageable.
At first, we started off with 9 different organizations in the city. It was very hard to keep up with them all and maintain them.
And what they're talking about are the scoot by shootings, okay? You heard it here first. The scoot by shootings are giving the city of Atlanta a run for their money. And it's sad, man, because it's like they're blaming the scooter instead of blaming the super gremlin. Because it's not the scooter's fault that they're committing crimes on the scooter. Yes, it may make them more convenient, but bikes do that as well. Okay? So it's tough, man. It's tough, but like I said, man, the super gremlins are very much making it very difficult to do business in Atlanta.
So we have it at three reputable companies that have been here, and we extended it again.
With the contract extension, leaders and police have started the process of cracking down on crimes being committed while on a scooter. They're used sometimes as the medium or the getaway ride.
Anyone under the age of 16 would be required to ride on sidewalks under adult supervision, and they would also have to have a helmet.
Well, that's not going to do anything. For one, who's going to abide by those rules? For two, excuse me, the birds already say that you're not supposed to ride them on the sidewalk. Like if you pick up the scooter and you read it, it says you're not supposed to ride it on the sidewalk anyway, but people still do it. I was doing it. I mean, I ain't finna ride. You got me messed up. I'm finna ride on the street in Atlanta? No.
Councilman Jason Winston wants to set into city code if his legislation goes through. He's working on an age verification requirement in order to use a scooter. He wants the minimum age to be 16 years old.
We want to try to mitigate those issues by one, adding an age verification process on our scooters and holding the scooter companies accountable for making sure that minors are not in our streets riding in the middle of traffic, which is already unsafe, but also being in our streets committing crimes.
I feel like it's a very good idea, especially if it's going to keep down crime.
Does Shorty have a mustache or a beard down here? Got some stubble, 5 o'clock shadow.
Vanessa Mitchell says she supports safety overall.
There should be an age requirement, and there also should be like more recreational things for the kids to do, because the idle mind is the devil's playground anyway.
Now, the city's shared bikes already have some type of age verification mechanism, and the city council members say they want that to be mimicked in the scooter process as well, whether it be scanning a driver's license or entering some type of birthday verification. They're working out those details with new scooter companies right now. Reporting live inside the City Hall, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Complex that left one. We're learning more about a shooting in a southwest Atlanta apartment complex that left one man dead and 4 women wounded. Hello, thank you for joining us for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Courtney Bryant.
Hello and welcome. I'm Tom Haynes. This happened at the Fairway Garden Apartments on Cleveland Avenue. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor spoke with the 22-year-old murder victim's family.
Delano Will's mother tells me she moved her family from Toledo, Ohio to Atlanta in hopes of escaping violence.
Why'd she do that? From Toledo to Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta's way more hot than Toledo. But dang, RIP, man. Yeah, I don't know why she chose Atlanta. It's way too much demon time activity. She must not have done the research, man. You got to be watching my channel. It could save your life.
Says she would have never imagined her son would have been killed ultimately anyway.
They raised a great man, someone who would risk his life for those he loved.
Isaac Morville still can't believe the love of his life is gone. 22-year-old Delano Wells Jr.'s mom tells me her son, who has a heart of gold, died in her arms after being fatally shot at their Fairview Garden Apartments Saturday night. His mother says Delano was defending his 17-year-old sister Cassandra when he was shot.
Wow. So he was defending his sister. Obviously a member of the LGBT community. And like I said, man, the Super Gremlins they don't care about none of that, bro. They don't care about being politically correct. Okay? Could this have been a hate crime? All right? The stats for the hate crimes, I think a lot of times they're not really getting the real ones, because this could be a hate crime too.
The rising senior says her downstairs neighbors jumped on her and were physically assaulting her when her brother stepped in.
She went to go tell Lano, and Lano came out and tried to mediate the situation. But then they started fighting him, and they were fighting her, and they tried to drag her into their apartment.
And it's messed up because you're damned if you do, damned if you do. In this situation, they're putting hands and feet on your sister. You literally have to come out shooting. If you can't, there ain't no fighting in this situation. You got to come out shooting. And you may go through a case, okay? It may be a tough legal battle. But what else are you going to do? I don't see any other alternative. They're beating up on your sister. You should be able to use the self-defense argument. Clap all of them. Or at least one or two. And then, they had straps too, so they was going to clap back. It's a lose-lose situation.
And then they started shooting, and Cassandra, she got shot in the leg, and she got grazed on the arm, and she didn't know what happened. So, when she came over here, he was on the floor.
Miss Wells admits her son legally had a weapon and only used it Saturday night while defending his sister Cassandra. The other 3 women who were shot will recover.
So he did have his strap. I don't know, maybe more firepower. Dang it, that sucks, man. He came out with the strap. You just got to start shoot first, ask questions later, I guess.
He was the most responsible gun owner you could ever know. He kept it locked away.
I believe that, man. And I believe it. I believe it. You know? It's a shame, bruh. It's a shame.
Never armed. He had his permit. He purely kept it in case he needed to defend himself or his loved ones.
Atlanta police say they are talking to several witnesses who are cooperating with them. But at this
wow. Okay, that's new.
point, they have made no arrests. In Southwest Atlanta, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.